Hi everyone, it's Miriam. Welcome to Women's Wisdom. It's been a while. It's great to be back. So recently I did a podcast interview about my healing journey of codependency, and I spoke a lot about boundaries, and I was asked a number of questions after about that, and I want to come on and just clarify some things and explain more how do we step into healthy boundaries and a little bit more about a background of boundaries spiritually in general. So the concept of boundaries is something that many people have a very difficult time understanding because again, we feel that our role in this world, we're tapping into the essential spiritual quality of the universe, that Olam Chesed Yibana, that the world was created on kindness, on love and giving. And we feel in our soul, in the core of who we are, that maybe when we create boundaries with another person, we're really creating more of a separation, a fence, a boundary, a border with other people. But really that's not the truth. That spiritually, boundaries, Gvura, which is the sphira, the soul power within us that is connected to the idea of creating boundaries, is the highest form of love. It's the highest form of giving, and it's the highest form of connection. Now, we think of boundaries as resisting something that we don't want, but really, in essence, boundaries are about embracing what we do want. It's just as much about our yeses as they are about our nos, as the things that we don't want to do, the things that we resist. Now, what are some signs that you're having unhealthy boundaries? So one of them is when we say no when we mean to say yes, or you say yes when you mean to say no. Really, again, being clear of our no's and our yeses. Another sign is when we have a difficult time where we tend to adapt to another person's belief or opinion, where we become just kind of people pleasers, kind of always meshing with other people's opinions, beliefs about themselves and about the world. Number 3 is when we feel guilty saying no, even though we said no. We did create a boundary. We feel guilty underneath. We don't feel good about it. We don't feel confident about that decision. Number 4 is not calling out when someone is mistreating you. If you've been mistreated and you have a difficult time calling that out and saying, hello, that's not cool. Like, I don't take that. And we allow that type of abuse to continually happen, that is another sign of that you're having unhealthy boundaries. Number 5 is denying your own needs in a relationship. When you're always taking care of others and completely being there for other people, but denying what your needs are in a relationship, that's another sign. And number 6, I would say, is giving too much to be perceived as useful. When you're always there volunteering to give and give and give and give without taking yourself into account, because then you'll feel good about yourself. You'll feel useful. That is another sign that you are having unhealthy boundaries. Now, what happens when we let someone really mistreat us? What we're doing is we are violating our personal boundaries. And in essence, what we're doing is we're really abandoning ourselves. We're not in connection to our true selves, our true desires, and our true needs. And what's so important in order to create healthy boundaries is we really have to start listening in very deeply to our emotions, to what we're really feeling, what our true desires are. And that really is connected to this idea that spiritually, Gvura is the left side of the Sphiratic tree. Now, above Gvura, in the Sphira, we have Bina. And Bina is the idea really of processing our emotions, whereas Chachma is the flash of intellect. Bina is about fleshing it out, really building it out into words, really processing our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions. And that is the key. And that's why, again, it comes straight down from Bina, from the left side of the Sphiratic tree, of what am I really feeling? If we don't really know what we're feeling, if we're not really in connection to ourselves, and if someone asks us to do something and we say yes when we really meant to say no, what are we doing? We're violating our own emotional boundaries. And then what's going to happen when we're doing that? Then our emotions are going to tell us that. We're going to feel anger, we're going to feel resentment, because we've never really processed and gone into what am I really feeling on the inside, and then we're always there taking care of, people pleasing, and just doing what we think other people are going to make us feel good about ourselves. So it's really so important to be in tune with yourself. And we think of boundaries as something really big, but boundaries could be like, I like chocolate, you like vanilla. That's a boundary. It's a separation. And what separates your personal truths, your personal needs, your personal desires, your personal values from the rest of the world. And really this idea of separation, again, where we think it's creating a boundary, a distance, but separation really is what brings us holiness into our lives, because the word kadosh, which means holy in Hebrew, also means to separate. That in order to bring holiness to ourselves, we have to be able to separate out. We have to be able to separate ourselves, go into ourselves, separate our needs, our truth, our desires, really have this connection to ourselves. And that idea of really separating my unique gifts in the world, my talents, my strengths from other people, is really what allows us to connect more deeply to ourselves, to our essence, to our authentic higher selves, and that brings more holiness and kedusha to ourselves, because we're living more in alignment with our soul. And that's really what it is. When we have healthy boundaries, what are we doing? We're expressing the voice of our soul and our authentic higher self to the world. So when we do that, then we're really more in alignment to ourselves, to our soul, to our higher selves. And then we're more in alignment with the world. We bring more unity into the world because we're more embracing the unique expression of who we are rather than seeing ourselves as separate from the source. We're embracing ourselves, which connects us really to others in a much more deeper way. So if anyone has any questions, comments about that, feel free to please put that in the comment section or private message me. Anyway, wishing you all a beautiful day, stepping into having healthy boundaries, holy gvura, and really connecting to yourselves, your higher self, your authentic yourselves, your true needs, your true desires. And I'm wishing everyone a beautiful, beautiful day.